We talked about it. If the apocalypse happens, we're gonna meet at that school right
Oh
there.
yeah, the school down the street, man.
Yeah, he's
okay.
he's gonna. I'm gonna team up with him. He knows what he's doing.
Can I stay behind you guys?
Yeah, man. Well, you close to the school too, so come on down.
Yeah,
man.
I'm just gonna run to you.
If the apocalypse happens, we're gonna need some therapy.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll be a good contributor.
I feel like there need to be more people to speak up in Japan.
Right.
I want there to be more people to speak up, use their voice.
Right.
But it's just so many, with the culture, I feel like the culture is just so ingrained in them
Right.
to not say anything, just
Right.
go along with it.
Right.
But maybe that's my culture, like the American culture.
Yeah, it's hard for us to understand.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, man, I don't care at all. I don't care at all. But mine is probably different from yours because I'm talking about like how I feel like I don't like. A lot of people they see me, they might view me as like some kind of like ooh, scary. Like, cause normally as a black person you're supposed to like, we have a lot of stuff that we need to think about and you have to be aware of. So my caring is probably different from yours. What you're talking about? 'Cause like I'm like, man, F that. I don't care. I don't care how that person think right now. I'm just gonna act how I
I
act.
feel like because of that, you would have learned how to not care even earlier.
Right. I was gonna say the same thing.
No, because remember, navigating in the in the industry of like in the working industry, you know, with like
Especially as an engineer.
right. you
Probably a
don't,
bunch
want
of-
to lose your security clearance, you know.
Yeah.
So like, oh, it was like, man. Like at work, I started not to care about like how people think. As long as they know that I'm like, I do want them to know that I'm a hard-working person. That I do want them to know, because I want them to break that stigma like, oh, black folks aren't intelligent or hard workers. But other stuff like mean or threatening and stuff, was like I just don't care. Like that, you're gonna have your own bias, whatever. So I don't care about that kind of stuff. But my wife tells me to stop that.
Yeah.
She does?
Yeah,
Why?
like don't be so sarcastic. Like I know you, but they don't know you. You know, like I'm like I don't care about what they think.
What if like, your wife tells you to, stop being a certain way, but then that's how you truly are, who you are, then how do you, make a balance between those two?
Well, I'll try. You know, I can't make no promises. You know, like cause we went to a birthday party last week at the park. Hey man, there's like two fathers who actively searching me out, looking for me. They're like, oh man, you're only cool dad here, man. You know. So I didn't know this before. Why they keep coming to me, man? But other people, they're kind of like snobbish or like kind of like stuck up, you know. In my mind, they're probably I don't know how they are, but I try to reach out to them and talk to them.
Yeah.
They kind of like, oh, you can tell the look. It's like, oh, they're that guy, you know, like he's the sarcastic guy, or you know, it's like, I don't know, like, it's like, that's him. I was like, in my mind, I started laughing. I was like, nice, that's good. But other guys who came approach me, I was like, all right, see that? Like you said, they
You attract the people that you want. Yeah. Yeah.
What about you? Like, if your wife wants you to stop being certain way,
Yeah.
you know that's
I have to. Like, I'm too honest. Like, I don't get embarrassed very easily. You know, I don't really have a lot of shame.
nice.
And so some of my stories include my wife, where maybe we weren't doing something that she wants them to know about. Like maybe, so this is one of those situations where I'll say it on camera and I'll probably take it out later. But like when we were young, we did mushrooms, you know, like 24 or something like that.
Yeah.
And recently I was at one of her coworker, it's not even a coworker, it's more like a boss kind of situation. And actually just not even a boss, but more like a mentor, like somebody that she looked up to for a long time and cared what he thought. And this guy kind of like brought her into the industry and gave her a bunch of jobs. Ooh. But he's also very personable. So it's not just a working relationship. We're friends with him too. And I've met him many times. I know his kid, he knows my kids. We're pretty close. And so he had a party like a couple months ago. And I told a story about us doing shrooms together. And it was a funny, super funny story. They're laughing, you know, they love it. And I'm just super open about everything. And later in the car, she had to be like, hey, I don't want you telling people I work with that I did shrooms. And I'm like, but that was like over 20 years. She's like, I don't care, you know? So it's hard for me to,
Distinguish between.
it's hard for me to get to her level
Oh, okay.
and care. Like, so I try to care. Like the effort is there, the desire is there, and I just can't care. Like what other people think. Like, if you're gonna not give her jobs because of a story from 20 years ago, then you can fuck off. We don't need your jobs. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather work with somebody who doesn't care about that. In fact, maybe that's like an incentive that, she's actually really cool. She did that, you know, like that's who I want to work with. And he's not gonna stop giving her jobs. But so I'm thinking from my perspective in that sentence, I have to think from her perspective what she wants. And a lot of my openness, like on social media or whatever, I always have to consider her needs, and it stops me all the time. Like sometimes I feel like I can't be a true artist, because true art is opening yourself. You're trying to express your emotion publicly. You're trying to share it.
Right.
And so a lot of the things I feel or would like to express involve her, and so I can't do it, you know?
Like a peacock. You gotta let it fly, you know?
Yeah. So I have to find this balance of like being able to get my creative juices out without involving her, more in my own personal way, you know what I mean? Like something that only involves me. And so stuff like this, filming this right now, it answers that need. And before I would have been like, nobody's gonna care.
Right.
You know? But I'm being true to myself now. Like, well, I care. So just do it. And maybe people watch this. Like, I've never put myself on camera. I've always been behind the camera. And so it's a lot for me to put myself in front of the camera and, you know, be self-conscious about what I'm talking about or
Hey,
what
man,
I'm
you got a face for the camera, man.
Oh, yeah? Thanks, man. Appreciate that. You gotta say no homo, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, no homo.
Yeah. I started wondering about you for a second there, man. I was like, damn, dude, Simpson gay?
That's that. Can you use that in California too, then?
Especially California.
Especially.
But not anymore. That's like in the past. Don't do it now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what people used to do. Some dinosaurs still do it, but we've moved on.
That's good though, man. You putting yourself out there, man. You know?
Yeah, it feels good. The people whose thoughts I care about, it's hard for me to get over, are people, my peers in the industry. Other people I look up to who are good at making videos. Those are the hardest ones for me to let go.
But that's not really like with the caring. It's about like advice and like giving you some like tidbits and stuff like that.
No, like, I guess what I worry about is like, who does Grant think he is? Like, does Grant think he's some interviewer guy?
Yeah.
Like, does Grant think he can just be some internet personality now?
Yeah.
And start his own thing? And so, I've always been kind of raised humble, like, and I've always looked down on people who put themselves out there. Like, check me out, look at me, you know? I've never liked that. And so, I'm trying to let go of that. And also judge people less who do that.
Okay, let me stop you. Let me ask you this question then, man.
Yeah.
So, do you want to be at the top, or do you want to be just happy with like what you're doing?
No, I want to create meaningful conversations.
Or do you want to be the number one?
No, I don't think no.
Oh, no,
even
okay, then. So
even
don't-
if I only get 50 views per video, I'm still gonna do it.
Okay.
Because I'm doing it for my heart, you know.
Right.
Like it feels good, so it's worth putting myself out there. You know, it's worth being criticized.
You want more meaning.
Yeah, I want more meaning, especially the older I get. The meaning of life is, for me, shared experience. Shared experience with another person.
Oh wow.
So that's kind of like, well, I don't know why we started this. Oh, what people think of me. Yeah, I've let go.
Life is short. Like we only get to live like until like 80s, and then by the time we are 80s, you know, we can't do much. So
Well, I mean, your body tends to start breaking down too.
Right,
So you want to get started on doing
Right.
some things, you know.